Hey, Dan here, and in this video, the first of a series, we're going to be looking at the Big Five or Ocean personality traits and the ENFP personality and how they relate together and what you can really learn about the ENFP personality type through the Big Five. And I'm telling you, if you have not looked into this before, this is really interesting. I'm actually filming this video last. I filmed the entire series and I've had a ton of fun and really just blown my own mind a bunch of times diving deep into this stuff and learning just more about the ENFP personality as I'm doing it. So the Big Five personality scale looks at 5 areas, and each of these areas can actually be broken down into 2 aspects. So we'll actually look at 10 aspects overall. But the 5 are openness, conscientiousness, agreeableness, extroversion, and neuroticism. And there's definitely a correlation to the MBTI scale. So the same scale that gives you the result of ENFP. There is going to be a correlation with the Big Five, but it's not exactly as clean cut as you would think. And there's a lot more differentiation on the Big Five, because when you take a proper test for it, you get given your percentile, and it's quite helpful actually. It's really quite interesting. I've actually found that the Big Five traits are a little easier, a lot easier to explain than the 4-letter system in many ways, right? So don't worry, this will always be the channel for ENFPs. I'm not going to be changing it up, but I have found certain aspects it's definitely easier to explain using the terms from the Big Five than it is explaining under the 16 personalities MBTI system. So what I'm going to do in this series is each video will look at one of the Big Five traits. I'll share what the trait is quite quickly, how an ENFP is likely to score if they were to take the Big Five, and then some advice about that, what that means, what can you do with that information? Because as you know, this channel is all about doing, not just learning. So taking this information about your personality type and applying it to create an awesome life for you and those you love. So let's quickly do a preview of the 5. So openness relates to the N or the S. So as an ENFP, you are an N. The openness scale is tied to that. Extroversion is of course related to the E in ENFP, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. Conscientiousness is closely tied to whether you are a J or a P. We ENFPs are of course Ps. And then whether you are a feeler or a thinker, the T or the F, is related to agreeableness, although it's not as clear cut, and I'll dive into that a lot more in the video on agreeableness. And the last part, neuroticism, is actually one of the most interesting to look at, because if you've taken the test where you become an ENFP-A or an ENFP-T, that's actually related to neuroticism. So I'll explain that in full, and I've actually, as part of this series, even filmed a bonus video with specific advice if you are an ENFP-T. Now, as a fellow ENFP, I know that sometimes we can be a little impatient and we're not always the most orderly. So asking you to come back here every couple days to get the next video in the series, if you're watching this as they get released, probably not the most fun. So what I've done is I've set up a page on my website you can go to. It's dreamsaroundtheworld.com/Big5ENFP. And if you go there, you can join my list. And when you do, I will send you links to each video as they come out. At the end of the series, I will send you a summary email with links to each of the videos, as well as a written summary, like a PDF guide that you can print out that will actually have a summary of each video as well. Plus, I filmed about an hour bonus series where I go through my own results of each of the 10 aspects, as well as share a bunch more insights that didn't quite fit into the series. I'm trying to keep the series quite punchy and just go through each of the traits. But a lot of insights came to mind as I was filming this, so I've included those in those bonus videos as well. So if you want to just sign up for that and be notified when each video comes out, go to dreamsaroundtheworld.com/ENFP Big Five, and you can get that. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, do hit the subscribe button so you're notified of new videos. And I will catch you in the second video of this series in a couple of days.